Hi friends, it's Laura. Welcome back to another What Sold This Week video. In the past, these have been dedicated to what I sold on my Whatnot show, but I have been adding my other sales in at the end of these videos. I will still do that this week also. It's just that I barely sold anything else this week. It's been pretty dry, but my Whatnot show today was amazing. I'm very happy and relieved about that. I sold a total of 24 pieces today for $360 before fees. That's probably going to be about 305 or 310 after fees. I'll put the actual total in the description box below as I usually do. This video will be a little bit long because of all that. So get your like coffee, your beverage, your snack, whatever in advance, settle in with some good work or something. And let's get into what I sold. I had a total of 11 buyers today, and I believe 6 of them are new to me buyers. That's very exciting. It was a fun show, a lot of chat. Um, which makes the show fly by a lot more quickly, which is great. It also feels like people are more engaged. I know that at least one of you who watches my YouTube channel was in the show, so thank you so much. It really meant a lot. Let's get into what we sold today. First up, I have this little shrug type of situation. This is going to a new to me buyer, and this is Angora, I believe. It doesn't have any tags or any markings. I got this essentially from a friend. So there was a haul that I got a while back that I always refer to as the granny hoard. It was a friend's grandmother, an entire massive wardrobe full of phenomenal pieces from like the 60s and 70s, some stuff earlier, some later. But this fur piece and a couple of other fur pieces, my friend actually had that she had gotten from her grandmother, but just like had them in her own house, and she ultimately finally gave them to me. She's like, I don't know what to do with these, here, just take them. So I this is one of those pieces. So I don't know what it is. I mean, I feel like it's Angora, but I don't know. So I sold it on Whatnot. I didn't really want to have to deal with listing it on Etsy. um, this sold for $15, so yay, I'm very excited about that. Number one. Next up, item number 2 is also going to a new to me buyer. And for the record, the fur, I sold it at 15. That's what I had it started at. So um, this is a cute little cotton 50s day dress. I picked this up at an estate sale somewhat recently, so I'm very excited about this. I have to make it look pretty. This sold for $15 also, which is not a shock. For the record, Rizzo is here sitting on my table, as she usually is, to be in the way. She was all sitting up on her little hideaway spot. And then the second I hit record on this thing, pow, she's down here, sitting in the middle of my table, biting me like, miss. And it's so much more difficult to do this. Like, to see, now she wants to play with things. Hey, 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 thank you. See? And it's like, I thought I was in the clear. To be fair, she was pretty well behaved during my show. She didn't come cause too much havoc, but she does like to come and knock things off and chomp on me a little bit. So now I can't fold because I don't have use of most of this table because she's sitting on it. And now she's biting me. Thank you. Let's see. Get this folded up in a way that looks nice, doesn't get me bitten. I think that'll do. Yeah, that's not my best work, but it's not the worst. Right? Like, it's a little uneven, but it gets the job done. So this cat. Get this into her little poly mailer bag. I don't know where that came from. Yep, there it is. All right, next, number 3. This is a repeat buyer, purchased a jumpsuit. There's so many long things that I have to fold today, and Rizzo's right on my table. So this is like a very 80s safari style jumpsuit. And this sold for $15 also. So far we're 3 for 3 items selling for their starting bids. I think for the most part, things all sold for their starting bids. Maybe I might have gotten 1 or 2 bids that went a little bit higher. We'll see, but I don't think so. I think everything sold for starting bid today, which is okay. That happens. It's fun when I do get bidding wars, but it's also fun when I sell 24 items, even if they all sell at their starting bid. I will take it. So let's see. A little lint here. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Again, cinnamon. Stopped myself before I said the full name. Sorry, I try not to disclose who buyers are. But if you're getting this, I apologize that the folding job is so half-assed, but Rizzo. And you know, if you've seen Rizzo at all, you'll understand. You've seen her bite me and be fresh. Right, business? Yeah. It's okay. I know you're just overstimulated. But you know what? You'd be less overstimulated if you went back up on top of your little tower over there and took a nap. I like her hanging out with me, but I like her better when she hangs out with me while I'm like writing drafts or something. And there's less agitating activity for her to get upset about. This is a very bad folding job. Very squashed. That's the front, but then that's the back. But challenge today. Okay. Item number 3. This is a repeat buyer, purchased 2 items. Let's see. So first is another jumpsuit. This jumpsuit is really cool. I couldn't model it because it was a little small on me. I think it was just too short in the leg. This actually got stuck. The ankle would not go over my calf. And I don't think it's meant to go over your calf, but because it's marked as a juniors brand, right? So Scarlett Juniors. And I feel like all the dimensions of the body would have fit, but I think that the length of the leg was my issue. So anyway, obviously I just closed all that, but I think it'll fit a normal person. Just not a tall lady. So, oh, and that sold for, you want to take a guess? I bet you can guess. $15. You got it. So, all right. There we go. Jumpsuit. And then the second item that sold, so freaking cool. This, sure, I know this was just in my haul, my most recent haul video, but you get a better view of it because it's on a hanger. So dolman sleeve. It's just really cool. It's got these great like triangular buttons. Here's this designer, by the way. This designer has gorgeous pieces. Jackie Bernard for Eclectic. I looked it up just to see if it's anything fancy, special, super desirable. And there are some dresses that she made that were just gorgeous. So it was impressive. I liked looking at them. Anyway, this sold for $15. Ding, ding, ding. If we wanted to turn my videos into a drinking game or a hydration game, you could take a sip of something every time I sell something for $15. I'm just buttoning all the buttons up to make it look cuter. When I fold it, all right. And trying to fold around Rizzo again. This is a nice soft wool though. It feels so nice. I'm going to end up putting this in a big bag. Linty lint. Okay. This is the worst fold job ever. It's horrific. All right, let's see. Fold that. Let's get a big bag. So my Whatnot show was a little bit good chaotic, a little bit bad chaotic. The chat was fun. We talked about a lot of cat rescue stuff. We talked about 80s fashion and shoulder pads. But also at one point I don't even know what I did. It was me. It was not Rizzo. I knocked over my computer, which also knocked over my glass of water. They both slammed to the floor. My glass didn't break, thankfully. And my computer did not get soaked and also did not break. That's all very good. But there was a big mess that I had to clean up in the middle of my show. And then let's see. Trying to squeeze all the air out of this little Ziploc bag. There we go. Hold on. Okay. Next up. Why is this? Okay. Next up is another, who is this? Why is this not like highlighting what row I'm on? But okay. This is a new to me buyer who purchased 2 items. The first is this like 80s era house dress. This is really cute. You may remember this from a haul. When I found it, I noticed that it had some stains on it. And so I washed that and those all came out easily, which I thought they would. So this sold for one of these. Oh, this sold for 15. And the other item that they purchased sold for $10, but that had some issues. So we'll explain that. Rizzo, please don't. Come on, man. You gave me 30 seconds of freedom, which I really appreciated. Sorry. Cranky girl. And then the second I was like, okay, I can fold this. No, she started coming back. Okay. Cranky girl. All right, let's see. Fold this up nice and purty. All right, number 1. And then number 2, this one. I love this one, but this had some flaws on it. So I listed it for $10. And that's what they purchased. That's what they purchased it at. $10. All right, this microphone is killing me. Look at this floppy thing. Like, no wonder I hit it 700 times. There's no way to clip this on in like a really nice way where it's like out of the way, but also in a spot where you can hear things. I really want to get different mics, but to be fair to the microphone, it was a pretty good deal. I got it as like a 2-pack from Amazon, which I have canceled my Amazon, but that's a separate video that I won't be making. So 2-pack of Amazon microphones for like $25. So, and they work pretty well considering. Also, Rizzo swatted one of them somewhere. I don't know where it is. So now I'm working with one. But they have these other ones that like magnet onto your shirts. I think I want to try and get those. They weren't terrible. I want to say they're like in the $70 or $80 range, which like not, I guess not terrible. There's definitely some that are stupid prices. But also, you know, when you see the non-whatnot sales that I had this week, you'll understand why I'm not currently looking to spend $70 or $80 on a microphone. These don't want to fit in this bag, but I know they can do it. And the big one is just going to be so big. And this is a new to me buyer, and I'm sorry that this is going to be squashy, but look, the alternative is like an comically large bag. This looks terrible. Can I flatten it a little? I can't do this. Like, I can't do it. I can't. It's going to be in a gigantic bag and it's going to look stupid. I guess the alternative is I could package 2, you know, they each get their own poly mailer, but that also seems stupid. Also, I guarantee you I would forget that they go together. So here we go. I really say this every week, but I really have to go on to You Pack and Ship and order like a middle size bag. More middle size than this. So many bags. This is why Amazon will send you something that's this big in a box this big, because they can't deal with the number of sizes that they potentially could have. Okay. Next up is a repeat buyer, one of my favorite people on Whatnot, also a seller, and they purchased this ridiculous clown scarf. Woohoo, I love it. It's amazing. It's huge and so silly. Purchased this for $10. I should do a separate video one day just talking about all my favorite Whatnotters. because I want to be able to call them out as like sellers all the time, but I also just want to respect people's privacy as buyers. Guess what? I almost just knocked on the floor fucking again. Yep. My MacBook Air, my little computer that I run my life on. I'm telling you. Yay. Little clown scarf. All right, next. Next is my little friend that was very chatty with me during my show. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I believe you also watch on YouTube. So this person purchased 4 items. And let's see, new to me buyer. First up is this really adorable little nautical style sort of striped shirt. This is very polyester, super stretchy. I love it so much. This sold for $15. So let's see. Get that folded up all nice. I'm assuming this is going to have to go in a bigger bag. So there's that. Then the second item, I think these all sold for starting bid of $15, was this little sort of like disco style dress. This is very sheer, but it's very adorable. So let's see. This sold for 15. Let me get this folded up. So I'm getting closer to the date of my springtime show, which is March 20th. Today is March 6th. And I have a whole bag of stuff set aside for that show. And I don't know how many pieces. I just know I have a bunch of stuff that I've been setting aside. So what I feel like I should do is maybe today, but usually after all my shipping stuff, I kind of crash out. So maybe it won't be until tomorrow, but like start populating that show and also try and work on next week's show a little bit. The next item that this person purchased was this 80s lingerie jumpsuit. This thing is so freaking love it. This is made by Undercover Wear. And this also sold for 15. Look at that. It's awesome. I think that's one of the things that's really fun about vintage clothing. I mean, I'm sure like to a degree, modern clothing can have this happen. And I think it's one of the things that can be super fun about really fast fashion like Shein and stuff, which I don't participate in, but you get these pieces that are like so quirky and crazy and like not normal everyday wear, but you get it cheaper, so you can like experiment a little bit with your wardrobe and stuff. Like a lingerie jumpsuit, like realistically, back in the day when somebody purchases, how often do we think they wore this? And especially if it's lingerie and you're doing it for like sexy time, do you think that this was like very conducive to a whole bunch of sexy time activity? I don't know. Were you wearing this to bed? Like, what were we doing in the lingerie jumpsuit? And whatever it was is going to be fun, I assume. It's adorable, but like, how practical are some of these pieces? And then you're paying full retail on top of it. That's what's fun about thrifting. And it's way better quality than fast fashion garbage. Anyway, this cute thing, which I love, I had this styled over the jumpsuit in the photos. It was really cute, but I feel like you couldn't get the full effect of what's going on here. So this was, I think, also sold for 15. Yes, it did. And it's just really cute. I don't know, the tag is out. I don't know the era on this. It's giving 70s, but it may have been 90s. I don't know. It's got stretch to it, which I thought was really interesting. And it's also got this great like burnout velvet with glitter in there. I mean, it's just so much fun. Such a fun piece. So anyway, great little like duster style. Again, I have to be careful about how I fold. So I can't fold on the table and I can't hold it up against my body the way I normally would because I'll hit the mic. Rizzo's on the table. So, gotta hold it sort of in the middle of the air and not make it look as pretty as I would like, but at least it doesn't look crinkled up and janky. And it is neatly folded. It's just not like display folded. So let's see, get these 4 once again in a bag that's a little too big for what we need, but okay. All these pieces are a little bit slidey. They want to fall off of one another. There we go. Squeezing all the air out. Kind of. There we go. All right, next up is another new to me buyer purchased. Oh, this is such a good dress. Okay, so this sold for starting bid. And I was very surprised. This, where did you go? This is weird. So, sorry, I'm distracted. Normally on Whatnot, when I'm looking at somebody's order, their username is like a link that I could click. And in this case, the person's username is not a link. I don't know if that means anything. Scary. Very unusual though. Anyway, let's move forward for now. If I learn something new about that, I'll share it with you when I do. But this dress sold for $20. It's freaking amazing. I love it. It's like this 70s bark cloth style. There's the tag. So cute. Really pretty dress. And this sold for $20, which is what I started the bidding at. So I'm glad I started it a little bit higher because it sold for asking price. I almost started it at 25, but I thought like 20 is good. Like I got it at a low price, and it's nice to share the love sometimes. Especially that's kind of what my Whatnot, I don't want to say that's what my Whatnot is for. My Whatnot is for me to make money and pay my bills. But the Whatnot is where Whatnot is where I'm going to list it at a price like that, if I'm going to list it at a price like that at all. So I'm going to have to lint roll this a little bit on the bottom. I'm really curious to figure out why the name is not highlighted. It makes me wonder if, like, my concern is that it's maybe somebody who is blocked or like kicked off the platform or something, but and that would have happened obviously pretty immediately. But I guess alternatively, like I don't think that anybody on Whatnot can check out as a guest or anything, especially when the it's a live auction. It's not like a buy it now sale. So I don't know what that's about. Maybe they have me blocked, but also how would they have bought from me? I don't know. It's weird. Maybe Whatnot is just glitching, which it also likes to do all sorts of ways, all sorts of times. We'll find out. What I am confident in, though, is that if there's actually a problem, like Whatnot's not going to allow me to ship this if it hasn't been paid for. So that we're safe that way. Next up, another repeat buyer who purchased 4 items from me. Hi. Also, such good pieces, as always. So number 1 is this really adorable 70s acrylic knit dress. This I had gotten from a recent estate sale, and you may recall when I got this, it was covered with like brown, something had spilled all over it. Came right out in the wash. I was pretty confident it would, especially because this is an acrylic dress, but it cleaned up so beautifully. This sold for, let's see, $15. So let's bag this up, fold it up, get this out of the way. Hi, Riz. I know, I see you, ma'am. Yep. Being in my way, not letting me fold things with the full length of my table that I really, really could. And she's getting mad about it too. She's like not enjoying the movement of my hands folding things, and she's about to try and bite me. This looks terrible. Let's see. There we go. All right. Now, so many long things. All right, next, I have to stop selling long things apparently because they're very invasive when Rizzo's around. So next is this jumpsuit with like, hello, this is insane. I thought this was very like Western Barbie. Another one of my friends watching the show said maybe like Punky Brewster, which I thought was hysterical, but also pretty accurate. Jumpsuit, amazing. The designer on this is Mark Dulcie. And this, I think this was 20. This sold for 20, yes. And this one partially, it's just because I think I paid like $8 for it. So, you know, when I sell it for 20, I think that I get approximately $17 after fees on that. So when it's $8, and I'm doing everything, like I try to make it worthwhile. I feel like I've made sort of a mental cutoff. Like if it costs me $6 or less, I typically will list it for 15. But if it's like $7 or $8, I'll tend to bump it up to 20. Sometimes I'll list it for 10 if it really was like inexpensive, like $1.50 or something. Look, I'm sorry. I'm folding all of these really janky, and I'm sorry. It's because Rizzo's in the way. Okay. And I'm saying that directly to the person who purchased these. The rest of you don't care. But, I try to fold it pretty, but Rizzo is not being helpful at the moment. Next is this adorable suede purse. I love this thing. Look at that. It's so freaking cute. It's so soft. And this sold for, I'm going to say 15. Yes. So that's cool. I'm just going to let it stay flat. It's not really going to fold too nicely. It's going to be fine. And then the final item that they purchased was this phenomenal caftan, which again, I thought that, so this was in last week's show and it got requested like 4 different times and nobody bid on it. And then today it was requested again and it did sell, but the person who requested it did not bid on it, which again is fine. I just don't know why are so many people requesting it and then not bidding on it? It was just funny. So, and plus I thought it was awesome. It's got these great sleeves. And then it's a long caftan thing. It's very cool. Sold for 15. So I'm really happy that it's sold and it gets to go fulfill its little Mrs. Roper fantasy life, fulfill its little purpose. It's not going to fulfill the purpose of being folded cute though, because we still got a Rizzo here being very fresh. Doing the best I can with what I've got at the moment. So if I put that underneath, I keep the little anchor bag on top on one side. Let's see. Try and make it as cute as possible. And then pink Barbie jumpsuit on the other side. Get these in there. This is very tall. I don't know. Like, I know you can do it. Yes. There we go. One side, other side. Whoop. Fall over, please. There we go. All right, next. Hi, baby girl. Oh, I was going to say, I only have 2 more two more packages left, but one is a lot of stuff. So, all right, next is a new to me buyer. Business. New to me buyer. Purchased 2 items. First up is this Victoria's Secret gold label era pajama top that they say they are going to wear as a blouse, which is amazing. And this sold for $15. Get you 2 out of my way. Rizzo, why? Why are you doing this? You are clearly agitated. You're agitating me. I don't understand why you're doing this. Why do you want to be here right now? You don't seem to be enjoying it. All right, another I can't fold these nice because someone in the way. All right, Victoria's Secret. And then the second item that they purchased is this very sweet little Carol Little blouse. Those buttons, this cute little lace collar, so pretty. And that also sold for $15. So happy that there's 24 pieces going out today. All right, let's see. Here a little. Straighten yourself out, please. Not my best fold job. I'm sorry. Can't leave it like that. It was terrible. Stuff with shoulder pads is always more challenging to fold because the shoulder pads are so bulky and they don't want to, like if you fold them in, it's too skinny. And if you leave them flat, it's way too wide. There's no real winning here. I'm going to fold it sideways, which I hate. I don't like folding it like this, but it's going to look better than if I fold it any other direction. All right, let's see. There we go. All right, not bad. Right, like not the best, but it could be worse. Okay, and my final sale is going to a new to me buyer. They purchased 5 items, and let me see. Rizzo's MIA, so I'm going to see if we can do the longer things first, just to take advantage. This very pretty dress sold for, I think everything was 15. Yeah, we're just going to go with 15 because the maths. So, Karen Stevens, so cute. All right, let's see, dress. They're so much nicer when I have space. But again, we've got a shoulder pad issue. I'm just going to make it work. Dear God, it does not work. Look at this. See what I mean? Like when you fold it with the shoulder pads, like it's not even, that looks so stupid. But with but if I leave them wide, I know you don't, maybe don't care. I don't know. Like then it's like giant. It's just too big, you know? All right, it's a lot of stuff, so we're going to get bigger anyway. All right, next up is this adorable Y2K dress that I love so much. I really like it. The cut of it is just really pretty. It's a bias cut dress, and it's just got this very, like a wider scoop neck. It gives off like a milkmaid kind of vibe. It's really pretty. Rizzo's scratching inside a box right now in case you're wondering what that horrific noise is. I don't know if you can even hear it. So, but it's her box. She can scratch as much as she wants. That dress sold for $15. Next up is this pair of pants. So cool. These also sold for 15. I believe this buyer had pre-bids in on a whole bunch of stuff. I believe they came in during the show because I'm pretty sure they said hi, but everything had pre-bids on it. So I don't think they necessarily hung out. Next up is this 70s like tunic length sweater. It's really cute. I love these extra wide cuffs and this big cowl neck. And it's got patch pockets on the front that have this side entry. It's really adorable. It does sort of look like maybe it's a dress length. It's not a dress length on me. And I know that I'm, I'm tall, but it probably is still not a dress length, like unless you're really short, but it's such a fun tunic length sweater. Like just the perfect sweater to wear over leggings, and it covers your booty, and it's just so cute. And it gives off like a mini dress look, especially if you wear it with super tight leggings. So adorable. That sold for 15. And then the final item that this person purchased is, and the final item that I sold during the show today, is this sweater with this adorable like cottage core style scene on it. So cute. This is very heavy. And this sold for $15 as well. And in fact, yeah, it looks like this particular package probably went over a little bit with shipping. I capped my shipping. Right now, Whatnot gives you up to 5 pounds for $9.21. Um, it does like if you purchase something that's under a pound, the shipping weight is adjusted for that. But between 1 and 5 pounds is $9.21. And I cover anything over the 921. And usually I don't have any charges over 921. This time it looks like my shipping charge for today is $1.97. So not too terrible, especially considering how well I did in the show. And I am more than happy to cover shipping charges when I get to sell 24 items and one person purchases 5. Like, it all works out really well for me. This is a very large thing that I'm going to have to fight with my bag to get into it. But that's all the Whatnot stuff. Yay. So grateful for a good show today. It really feels energizing and good. And I'm so happy about how today went. And especially considering the rest of my sales, which you will get to see in just a moment. Hang tight. All right. So my other platforms have been pretty dire for the past week, but that dam did break open this morning. Those sales are not going to be included in this video. Those are going to be in next week's video, but at least I feel like there's a little relief on the horizon. But let's take a look at what I did sell. Let's not be too sad about it. I'm going to try and be all right with it. So first up, this looks promising. It makes it look like, okay, she's doing okay now. This is a pair of Victoria's Secret pajamas that were all boxed up. And I actually got these for free from a friend who had purchased them years ago as a Christmas gift and never gave the Christmas gift. So I put these up. Originally, I had these listed. I think I had them at $89, and I wasn't really getting any traction. So I ended up bringing the price down to $75. These actually sold on a best offer. I can't remember if I made the offer, the buyer did, but they sold for $60 plus shipping. So that's not too terrible. I made $60 on that. So then the next item that I sold, and I think I need to move myself out of the way here a little bit more, is this very cute little t-shirt. Now you're seeing it in a weird spot. I had this listed on Etsy. I found this t-shirt many years ago. It is a true vintage t-shirt, and Easy Rider is a movie. I forget who's in it. I'm a terrible person, but it was like a motorcycle movie. And I did a bunch of research when I found the shirt. The tag on the t-shirt like matched up with the time period during which the movie actually would have come out. I was finding this t-shirt all over the place online, like similar versions of it, but they were all reprints. And I wasn't finding anything that was actually vintage. So when I put this up, and this t-shirt was in gorgeous condition, and so I ended up listing this for $179. I only had it listed on Etsy. I had it for many years. One of my regular Whatnot buyers reached out to me and said, hey, I know that you have this shirt listed on some other platform. What would you be willing to, like, what's the lowest price that you would be willing to give me on this shirt? Because she's spent a lot of money with me in the past, and because she has been such a regular Whatnot buyer and spent so much money, and because I've had the shirt for such a long fucking time, I decided to just offer it to her for $50, including the shipping. And she agreed to that. Hopefully, she's gotten it by now, but I'm not sure. And so, that's an unusual circumstance. Sometimes when I have a piece that I feel like is really more rare or harder to find and stuff, like you don't always find good comps. And so I was kind of pulling a price out of my ass, and because she spent so much money with me in the past on Whatnot, I was like, yeah, let me just give this to her at a great price. So it worked out. Maybe I should do a video on that, all the pieces that like I kind of price and I'm like, and I just throw something out there. Sometimes it works out really well for me. Sometimes I second guess myself over and over and over and over and over again. So that should be a fun video topic. Anyway, moving on to the next thing. Let me fix my little self here again. That's probably unnecessary, but there we go. Next up is these motherfuckers again. So These barrettes I sold on Etsy, single pair, $10, including the shipping. Shipping on this was only $3.96 though, which is, I haven't seen a shipping fee under $4 and I don't even know how long, so that was nice. So I made $6.04 on these before my Etsy fees, of course. Next is this mug that I sold on eBay. Now I get very annoyed with myself when I have to ship mugs because I feel like I make no money on these, especially because I also have to pay for bubble wrap. But then maybe I should stop buying mugs. It's my own fault. But I love, look how cute it is. Anyway, I had it listed for 15, as you can see. I sent out a best offer and for 20% off. So this actually sold for $12 plus shipping, which makes it hurt a little bit less. So that's not so bad. I don't remember how much I would have paid for this. I don't even remember where I got it, but I probably would have paid $1 or less. I don't think that came from the Hoarder House. I think I actually bought that. But anyway, it's cute. I thought it was a cute mug. I like it. Next up, another fucking mug. This did come from the Hoarder House though, so basically free. Again, as a reminder, the Hoarder House, I paid $10 to get in, and then I could take whatever I wanted without paying for anything else. It was about an hour and a half drive each way, so there were those costs. But I mean, I've made my money back on this Hoarder House thing easily many times over, and I still have a lot left from it, so that's fine. This was listed for $12, and it was like a very thin plastic cup. It's like a child's cup. It's cute, but you know, I sent out a 20% off offer, so it sold for $9.60 plus shipping. So again, hurts a little bit less, but still, you know, I'm not rolling in it over here. And then my last sale of the week was these fucking barrettes again, but at least this time the buyer purchased 2 pair. So $20 including shipping. Shipping was $4.51. And I sold them, I made $15.49 after my shipping. So not terrible, but that was it. So that was my week in sales. It was pretty dismal, not gonna lie. It was upsetting. But my whatnot show, as you just saw, was really great. And then this morning I got 2 nice sales. So I was very happy about that. So I feel like the dams burst a little bit and maybe, you know, I'll be able to start pulling it back out of the fire a little bit going forward. Anyway, I hope that you found that useful. As always, I really appreciate you watching these videos and I will see you again soon. Thanks so much. Bye.